Yeah, he had a great run, and it's fun to watch. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin, how did this crowd, this moment, this environment meet your expectations today?
I mean, they always exceed it. I mean, they were amazing.
NBA legend Larry Bird just made headlines, and not in a subtle way. During a live interview, Bird boldly claimed that Caitlin Clark is simply on another level compared to her rivals, including Angel Reese. His comments weren't just praise, they were a direct challenge to the WNBA establishment that has often downplayed Clark's impact. Fans were stunned as Bird laid out the facts. Clark's skill, vision, and game IQ are unmatched. While some saw it as controversial, others called it the truth the league needed to hear, and now the spotlight on Caitlin just got even brighter. Larry Bird drops a bomb on national TV. When NBA legend Larry Bird spoke live on national television and praised Caitlin Clark, the reaction was seismic. Bird, known for his reserved demeanor and Hall of Fame career, rarely weighs in on players, especially in the women's game. But when he declared, "Caitlin Clark plays the game the right way. She makes everyone around her better," it wasn't just a compliment, it was a statement, a verdict, and it didn't leave room for Angel Reese. Bird's words were sharp, clear, and unmistakably pro-Clark. He praised Clark's vision, leadership, and skill, qualities that define greatness. For Bird, who has carried Indiana basketball on his back for decades, this wasn't just analysis, it was personal. Calling Clark the most complete player in women's college basketball right now felt like a coronation. And while Clark was being lifted, Angel Reese was conspicuously left out. No mention, no nod, nothing flattering. For Reese, the silence was deafening. Her fans tried to downplay it, but Bird's praise came like a cold slap of reality. He didn't sugarcoat or soften his opinion. Reese may dominate in the paint, but Bird emphasized basketball IQ, court vision, and team elevation, Clark's bread and butter. Bird's commentary cut deep because it came from a legend who doesn't hand out compliments easily. His loyalty to Indiana only made the praise louder. On live TV, Larry Bird crowned Caitlin Clark, and in doing so, delivered a hard truth about who he sees as the face of the game. Caitlin Clark's IQ shines over trash talk. Let's be real, Angel Reese is loud. She talks, she flexes, she taunts. But while she's playing mind games, Caitlin Clark is playing chess. Larry Bird zeroed in on that, saying Clark's basketball IQ is off the charts. Reese might win a stare down, but Clark will break you down with a skip pass or sink a logo 3 right in your face. That's not hype, that's pure execution. Bird didn't just compliment Clark, he dissected her game like only a legend could. He praised how she doesn't just score, she orchestrates. She reads defenses better than most NBA rookies, he said. That's not casual praise, that's clinical. Reese? She's been caught flat-footed when forced to guard the perimeter or rotate in real time. Clark, on the other hand, anticipates. She sees the play before it develops, and that's the kind of mind Bird respects. He made it clear, he values thinkers, not barkers. That's why he doubled down. Clark's presence changes how teams prepare. She forces you to adapt. Meanwhile, teams dare Reese to leave the paint. The difference: intelligence versus intimidation. Reese might grab the viral moment, but Clark is collecting wins, records, and a legacy that's built to last. Bird saw that, and he didn't flinch when he said it. In his eyes, Clark is the future, and he made sure everyone watching knew it. Clark's range is just unreal. When Larry Bird talks about range, his eyes light up, and that's exactly what happened when Caitlin Clark's name came up. "She's got Steph Curry range," he said, and the room fell silent. That's not just a compliment, it's a nuclear-level endorsement from a Hall of Famer. Clark doesn't just shoot threes, she bends entire defenses with them. Angel Reese, she has no counter for that kind of threat. Bird watched Clark hit back-to-back logo shots and just shook his head. "You can't coach that," he said. "She's got that rare confidence that comes from hours in the gym. It's earned, not given." Meanwhile, Reese's game is painfully predictable. Pound the ball, post up, hope for contact. Effective, sometimes, but electric, not even close. Clark stretches the floor in a way that warps defensive schemes. Bird nailed it. She's redefining spacing in women's basketball. Reese can't even pull defenders past 15 feet. That's not hate, it's the truth. Clark's shooting doesn't just rack up points, it controls the game. Bird emphasized how she dictates pace in a way I haven't seen in a long time. That's not a throwaway line. It's a verdict from a basketball icon. While Reese is locked into the paint, Clark is out there shifting the entire geometry of the court and making it look effortless. Passing game, Clark's magic touch. Larry Bird isn't just a shooter, he was one of the best passers in the game, so when he praises someone's passing, it means something. He called Clark's court vision next level, even comparing it to Magic Johnson. Let that sink in. He said, she sees plays before they happen, and that's what separates her from every other player, including Reese. Clark's not just throwing dimes, she's conducting an orchestra out there. Bounce passes, no looks, behind the back deliveries in traffic, she's got it all. Reese? Let's be honest, her passing game is nothing to write home about. She's more likely to muscle through contact than hit a cutter in stride. Bird noticed that. He said, Clark makes her teammates better every possession. And that's the truth. Her assists are momentum shifters. She turns role players into threats. Reese doesn't elevate teammates, she overshadows them. And when the ball moves like it does with Clark, defenses break down, rotations scramble, and shots get easier. Bird called it basketball IQ with a magician's hands. That's high praise. Clark is a true floor general. She's got the flair, the vision, and the timing. It's showtime every time she runs the break. Reese, she's a post bruiser. Clark, she's the engine. And Larry made sure the world knew it. Composure under pressure. Larry Bird thrives on clutch moments. So when he praised Caitlin Clark's composure, it carried real weight. He said, she never looks rattled, even when the game is on the line. That's the hallmark of a killer. Bird has seen it all, and he sees that coolness in Clark. Angel Reese? Not so much. She's emotional, sometimes too emotional. We've seen it. Technical fouls, taunting, getting baited by opponents. Bird wasn't subtle. He said, you can't win championships losing your head. That's a direct hit at Reese's inability to stay locked in when it matters. Clark, on the other hand, thrives when the lights are brightest. Game on the line, she steps up. Crowd screaming, she smiles and sinks the dagger. Bird compared her to himself, saying she feeds off pressure instead of folding. That's iconic. Reese plays with fire, but Clark plays with poise. She's surgical in late game execution. Bird said, she makes the right decision 9 out of 10 times under pressure. Reese, her shot selection gets shaky, her decisions get emotional, and in crunch time, that's the difference between winning and walking off the court wondering what went wrong. Bird knows champions when he sees them, and he sees one in Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. Media presence and humility. Bird didn't just talk basketball, he touched on personality too, and Clark won again. He said, she's grounded, she knows who she is. Meanwhile, Reese has been everywhere. Photo shoots, brand deals, headlines filled with drama. Bird pointed out that Clark lets her game do the talking. She doesn't need the noise, he said. That was aimed right at Reese's style of self-promotion. Let's face it, Angel Reese thrives on the spotlight, and sometimes it overshadows her actual play. Clark, she steps up to the mic with humility and sharp focus. Bird respects that. He said, that kind of focus wins you rings. Reese fans argue she's just building her brand, but Bird's not buying it. He made it clear, legacy matters more than likes. Clark shows up, handles business, and keeps it classy. Reese, she's clapped back at critics, called out rivals, and sparked beef on social media. Bird called Clark a professional in college threads. That hits hard. It's not about popularity contests, it's about championship mentality. Clark carries herself like a seasoned vet. Reese, she's still chasing headlines. Bird knows what leadership looks like, and in his eyes, Clark is the leader women's basketball deserves right now, elevating the game. Bird got passionate when talking about impact. Clark's changing the game, he said. She's got little girls pulling up from half court now. That's influence, that's legacy, and it's not something you can fake with attitude or hype. Angel Reese might grab headlines, but Clark's changing how the game is played. Bird knows a true game changer when he sees one. He was one. He compared Clark's cultural impact to Steph Curry's in the NBA. That's next level praise. He said, she's made women's basketball must-watch TV. Reese, for all her flash, hasn't done that. Bird's words rang loud. Clark's putting butts in seats and eyes on screens. That's a fact. TV ratings spike when she plays. Social media erupts. Tickets sell out. Reese, her numbers don't compare. Bird respects trailblazers, and he sees Clark carrying that torch. Her style of play, her attitude, her presence, it's all part of something bigger. Reese might be a star in her own right, but Clark is becoming a movement. Bird called it an evolution right before our eyes. He didn't mince words. Caitlin Clark isn't just better, she's revolutionary, and that's a level Angel Reese just hasn't reached. Not yet, maybe not ever. The final blow, she's just better. Bird wrapped it up with the sentence that lit the internet on fire. Caitlin Clark is just better. That's it. No fluff, no debate, no room for misinterpretation. The GOAT of Indiana basketball didn't hold back, and the reaction, nuclear. Angel Reese fans were furious, ESPN anchors looked stunned, but Clark fans, they celebrated, because when Larry Bird gives his seal of approval, it means something. He's not a hot take machine. He doesn't chase clout. When he says something, it's because he's studied the game and seen greatness, and to him, Clark is it. He said, she's what basketball needs right now. That statement alone buried any argument for Reese. Bird wasn't rude, but he was honest. He admired Clark's skill, leadership, vision, humility, and impact. Then he looked at the camera and delivered the final punch. She's just better. Period. That's the headline. That's the mic drop. Reese may flex, she may scream, she may mock, but she can't erase that moment. Bird's legacy just co-signed Clark's future, and in doing so, he didn't just choose sides. He chose excellence. That moment will live forever in women's basketball history. And make no mistake, it was Caitlin Clark's crowning. Reese? She'll have to settle for second place. Larry Bird didn't hold back, and neither should we. Caitlin Clark is revolutionizing women's basketball, drawing record-breaking crowds and viewership with her electrifying play. The fact that a legend like Bird publicly backs her only cements what fans already know. Clark is the real deal. As for Angel Reese, she's talented, no doubt, but this debate just got personal. One thing's for sure, the WNBA can't ignore the Clark effect any longer. Whether you love the drama or the dominance, Caitlin's rise is unstoppable, and even the greats are lining up to say so.